right, Matrixx and Rhodes show supporters. Well, we're going to talk about our favorite cackling hens. That's right, none other than the bees on The View. That's right, because, well, they were in mourning, it seems, after Super Tuesday. That's right, I kid you not, because, of course, Trump ran amok all over Nikki Haley and causing that other bee to drop out of the primary race. She should have dropped out a long time ago. We all know that. And, of course, they've got an opinion. However, their resident lawyer on the show, when I heard that, I was like, whoa, who let you pass a bar exam exactly? Sonny Hostin decided to dress for the part yesterday. That's right. They decided they were so bent out of shape over Trump that Sonny Hostin said, well, I'm going to dress like I am in mourning for a funeral. TDS is real, folks, and it will obviously make you crazy. It's nuts. I saw this. Don't worry. There is a clip. So we can all laugh at this person in unison together. Sonny Hostin said she was dressed to mourn Donald Trump's Super Tuesday victory over Nikki Haley on ABC's The View. It wasn't ever a race, lady. I mean, let's be real here. 13 months after she launched her 2024 Republican presidential campaign, I use that Republican term loosely. Boy, she seems as much like a Democrat as any of them, to be honest. Launched her 2024 Republican presidential campaign in Charleston, South Carolina. Haley ended her White House bid. The former two-term South Carolina governor, who later served as UN ambassador for Trump's administration on Wednesday morning, announced, quote, "The time has come for me to suspend my campaign," or tap out. The former president on Tuesday swept 14 of 15 states from coast to coast that led Republican presidential primaries and caucuses on Super Tuesday, moving Trump closer to locking up the GOP nomination and into a general election rematch with President Biden. I use that term loosely. Yeah, very loosely. Trump took to his Truth Social platform as Haley's speech was wrapping up to take aim at his former rival. Quote, "Nikki Haley got trounced last night in record-setting fashion." God, we can always count on good old Trump for taking a victory lap. The co-host of The View spoke to ABC News correspondent Jonathan Karl Wednesday about Trump's victory over his rivals for the GOP nomination, and Hostin says she was so devastated by the results, she wore all black. God almighty. There she is right there wearing all black. Let's listen.
Country. I mean, I'm wearing funeral chic today because I'm so devastated over what we saw yesterday. And my question for you is, were you able to glean anything from the exit polls and get a look at the mindset of those voters that we just talked about? Because backstage we were talking about the fact that 6 in 10 of North Carolina primary voters say they consider Trump fit for the presidency, even if he's convicted of a crime.
Yeah.
Even if he's convicted of a crime. And roughly 6 in 10 North Carolina GOP primary voters deny that Biden's 2020 election win was legitimate.
And if you go further into those exit polls, what you'll see is a vastly different set of answers if you're asking Haley voters or if you're asking Trump voters. Almost all Trump voters believe the election was stolen. It wasn't. Almost all of Haley voters don't, understand the truth and haven't bought into the lie. And on the question of would you still support him if he was convicted, almost all of Haley voters say absolutely not. So this is, again, why he's going to have a challenge going. And let's remember, and by the way, the New York Times used the phrase today, collective amnesia. There's been a collective amnesia about what it was like when Trump was president. This is why I wrote Tired of Winning.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And I could actually afford things. And inflation wasn't through the roof. And there wasn't crime running amok in our cities. There weren't illegal aliens literally coming over into the country murdering people. That's what it was like when Trump was still... Nobody's forgotten that. See, we had a trial run, a 4-year trial run with Trump, and we loved it. So there you are. Yeah, there you are. In January, Hostin, who once accused Haley of being a chameleon by suggesting Haley tried to hide her Indian ethnicity on scolded fellow co-host Alyssa Farrah Griffin after she announced Haley in the primary. Hostin told Griffin, quote, "You can't support her." I mean, you got people literally in America telling other Americans who they can and cannot support. That's the problem with all these people on these shows, these pundits, or these Hollywood elites, View host. They believe they've got power over people. Not power over anybody smart, but they believe they got power over people. And they should be able to tell you what you can and cannot do in your own country. Again, does any of us really feel like Nikki Haley is a Republican? And how many of the people that voted for her actually put in a vote from the Democratic side against Trump, but not for Haley? That was a major thing. I wager a guess the great majority of actual Republicans and certainly conservatives in this country voted for Trump all the way across the board. All right? She didn't do as well as her, I guess you would call it, inflated numbers would lead you to believe. But it's absolutely hilarious that these people hate Trump so much that they feel like to get ready for a show or to go out in public or whatever it is they're going to do the day after Nikki Haley drops out, taps out, that tells you how much they loved her. They feel like they have to dress like they've gone to a funeral. And I cannot wait for November when people of this ilk are on to our televisions crying their eyes out because Trump's boat raced Biden. And I think, look, it's not going to be the big Ronald Reagan election, but I think it's going to be much more dominant than these people see coming because they're living in some kind of a weird bubble of denial. These people are crazy. Do you know how absolutely out of your gourd you've got to be to dress up like you're going to some, a funeral where somebody has literally lost a living life and you're that bothered by Trump? Okay, space cadet. Wow. Make asylums great again and put everybody in the media and these celebrities in one. Well, make sure you hit subscribe. I thought we should all laugh at Sunny Hostin, who has taken pause from her lawyer career, I guess, suing people that got hurt, mopping floors at peep shows as an ambulance chaser. I don't know what else kind of lawyer she could possibly be. I hope nothing of any merit. Wow. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.